Can we please welcome to the stage Cash Arroyo? She's going to talk about PCOS and mental health.
Hey everybody, you guys look so beautiful today. So before I start, can I get everybody to stand on their feet again? Can somebody set a 2-minute timer on their phone for me? Because mine is recording. So there was a study that was done at Harvard University that if you took your hands and put them at your waist, straighten your back, and stand like Wonder Woman. We're going to do that for 2 minutes. So while we do that for 2 minutes, if somebody set their timer, now we're going to be standing for the rest of this talk. Okay, I'm going to talk a little bit, and then once that timer goes off, y'all can have a seat, and I'll tell you why we did that. So welcome, my name is Cash Arroyo, and I am speaking mental health today. And I am going to be doing mental health on comparison is the thief of joy. And if I sound like I'm nervous, I am. So make sure your backs are straightened. Wonder Woman, okay? Wonder Woman is not, hey. No, we're here, okay? All right. So what is mental health? It is our emotional, physiological, and social well-being all contribute to our mental health. It has an impact on how we think, feel, and act. It also influences how we deal with stress, interact with others, and make decisions. Mental health is essential throughout life, from childhood and adolescence to adulthood. If you have mental health problems, your thinking, mood, and behavior may be affected throughout your life. Okay, so the reason that I had everybody stand up, there was a study that was done on Harvard that when women with, just women, I'm going to say PCOS though because this is attributing to us, when we do this for 2 minutes, we're actually lowering our cortisol levels by 18%. If you don't know what cortisol is, it is our stress hormone. It is the biggest indication that there's things going on in our body. We're stressed out. When we're stressed out and our cortisol is high, we're dealing with testosterone, male androgens, cystic acne, hirsutism, and the list goes on. So I don't know if anybody set that timer, so hopefully they did. Okay, so before I tell you a little bit about Cash Arroyo, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Chastity Arroyo. Chastity is my... All right, 2 minutes, y'all can sit down. Y'all done dropped that cortisol 18% today. Don't say I ain't never did nothing for y'all. All right, so Chastity Arroyo, that is my government name, but I go by Cash Arroyo. So quick little synopsis of who I am. I was 16 in this picture and I ran away. I'm 32 today, and I've never been back since I ran away. I was adopted. I actually was born with cocaine in my system. I was born in Philadelphia. I was adopted. I was abused. And then I ran away at 16, and I've been on my own since then. Why is that so relevant to what we're talking about? Outside of mental health, did you guys know that childhood trauma plays a huge part in PCOS? Yes. So there was a study done, research study by Vince Filetto at Kaiser and Dr. Bob Nada at the CDC. They actually tested 17,500 people on something called adverse childhood experiences. So this could look like drug abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse. Those people who put 0. They grew up in a loving home. They didn't deal with abuse of any kind, any divorces or single parent households. These people who tested 0 didn't grow up and have diseases, illnesses, chronic issues, but those who had any points in the system that showed that they dealt with something growing up all came back with having a disease, an illness, the list goes on. There were so many. And those who tested more than one time, because you got a point for each thing that you went to. So for those that tested for more than 1 point, they were 4 times more likely to get an illness, cancer, heart failure, PCOS. I deal with a lot of issues with PCOS. I have a very high ACE score. With my ACE score, I obviously deal with PCOS. In my umbrella of PCOS, I deal with prolonged periods, cystic acne, fluctuating weight, sleep apnea, infertility, acanthosis nigricans, hirsutism, anxiety, and the list goes on. So who is Cash today? So I'm a content creator on social media, but when people think content creator, they just think of a child who just likes to take her camera everywhere. But what I do is I'm also a researcher. I'm a citizen scientist. I'm also a chemist, and I own my own business. PCOS was the start of my journey for every single thing that I do today. PCOS actually saved me. For people, PCOS, they look at it as like something that's really debilitating. It's sad. It sucks. We have to fight through these things. But if I didn't have PCOS, I really don't think that I would be where I'm at today. PCOS gave me a community, over 300,000 followers, millions of people watching my videos. I became a formulation chemist, so I make products for pH balance, vaginal washes, bubble baths, suppositories, because I constantly dealt with bacteria vaginosis. If you don't know what that is, it's just bad bacteria that builds up. This doesn't come from a boyfriend. Unfortunately, can't blame the men for everything. But women deal with hormonal imbalances. When you have a hormonal imbalance, during your period, you're also dealing with a hormonal fluctuation, which can give you bacteria vaginosis and yeast infections. And even when you're not on your period, you can deal with bacteria vaginosis. That's why I started my business called Sleepy Sis. If I didn't have PCOS, I probably would have never started that business and helped thousands of women today. I was diagnosed at 16. I had very prolonged periods. I had a period for 23 days out of every single month for a year. I was 16, I live in a Caribbean household. You tell your mom something like that, you did something. So I took that by myself for a really long time. My doctor prescribed me birth control. I am not the biggest fan, but we'll carry on. Birth control stopped my period from bleeding 23 days out of the month. I took birth control for 6 days. Never took it again. My periods are normal, thank God. Now I am at the age of 23 here, where I start dealing with this. This took control of my life. It was probably worse than this, but I don't think I took pictures because I was extremely depressed. When I was around this age, I was in college to be a sports analyst, sports broadcaster, anything in sports. And if you know anything about sports, you know it's a male-dominated industry, so you gotta look good. You can't be on TV with acne on your face. No man's gonna take you serious. Nobody's gonna wanna look at you, so I dropped out. I dropped out of college, and I just started focusing on myself and what I need to do and what I can do. I was depressed. I didn't feel beautiful. My confidence was down. I was wearing tons of makeup to cover who I was. And I went back to the doctor. I said, I did some research, and I feel like I have PCOS. My doctor at 16, all he told me was, yeah, when you ovulate, you're not ovulating a pearl ball. You're ovulating a pearl necklace. What the hell does that mean? At 16, like what? So at 23, at 23 I went back to the doctor, and they were like, yeah, you do have PCOS. And that's when my research studies began. I ended up clearing my face. I don't wear makeup now, but I have absolutely no acne. I don't even get acne, so that's a blessing. Weight fluctuation. Very insane with PCOS. I know a lot of us deal with this. On the picture to the left, I'm 196 pounds. I am at my biggest physically. On the picture to the right, I am also 196 pounds. I'm very fit. Today, I'm 206 pounds. It's insane. The weight gain is crazy. It comes, it goes, it stays. It's one of those things where you have to learn how to manage what you're eating, how you're eating. Something that I always tell my followers is PCOS is going to stay with you for the rest of your life, for the most part. So your symptoms don't have to. And you have to take control of your symptoms. You have to learn what your body likes, what your body doesn't like. You're going to have to try a lot of things out in life to figure out what is going to work with your PCOS. But it is not overnight. Don't go home and take everything out of your pantry, out of your refrigerator, and say, I'm going to go on a diet tomorrow. This is what I'm going to do. That's not going to work. You're going to get body dysmorphia. You're going to be insecure. You're going to hate yourself. you're going to quit over and over again because you have these expectations that are not real. We are on social media constantly comparing ourselves. Comparison is the thief of joy. If you compare yourself to what you see on the internet, you're never going to win. That stands with yourself too. If you're comparing yourself to what you used to look like, what you used to feel like, oh my God, y'all, when I was 16, I looked so good. I had a six-pack. I can't go back to her. I cannot compare myself to a 16-year-old me. Why? Why am I going to try to go back to the girl who used to run track, who used to play football, who used to do all of these extracurricular activities to who I am today? I have PCOS. Like, I got to be realistic. I don't have that lifestyle anymore, and that's okay. Because I love who I am today, but I just know that when I make moves or I do certain things, I have to take in consideration that I have a chronic illness that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. So I'm going to eat what I want to eat, but I'm also going to do things in moderation. I'm not going to throw everything out of my refrigerator. I love Cheetos. I love cereal. But I also know things are going to make me bloat. Things are going to make me gain weight. And in order for me to feel good and be at my best, I have to do things in moderation. I can't compare myself to who I was yesterday. It's only going to make me more depressed. Sleep apnea. Does anybody in here use a CPAP?
No, I have.
You have sleep apnea? Anybody else? Damn, okay, tough crowd. Okay, so I have sleep apnea. At the age of 30, I ended up being diagnosed with anxiety. Everybody got anxiety? Yeah, okay, hormones. When I was 30, I was diagnosed with anxiety for the first time. I had suicidal thoughts, idealities. I wanted to die, and I've never wanted to die. I love living. You know, it's so beautiful, live life. But I wanted to die at 30. I wanted to kill myself, trigger, because I had anxiety and I didn't know how to stop the intrusive thoughts. I didn't know how to calm my mind. I didn't know how to sit still. I still don't know how to sit still. I'm Capricorn. But for the most part, I didn't know how to just stop thinking. Which women, actually, there was a study done, women never stop thinking, even in their sleep. Men do. Go figure. But PCOS also gave me sleep apnea. And when I was dealing with these anxieties and these panic attacks, I also had to learn to give myself grace. You can't fight yourself. You can't run away from an agitated mind, a mind that's always thinking, but you can confront it. You can say, why do I feel this way? Why am I thinking like this? Let me get off the internet for a little bit. Let me read a book. I haven't read a book since 6th grade. Let me read a book. Let me see what else is out there. Let me see what other people are thinking. Let me take a walk for 30 minutes a day. Let me do something that's going to not have my mind fixated on what's going on in my body. And I had to learn that. That's really easy, y'all. It is not easy. I went to the dentist. He was like looking at my mouth and he was like, you have a small airway. And we got to talking. He was like, you have PCOS, don't you? And I was like, yeah. Is it because I'm fat? Like, is that why you know? He was like, no, you have hair on your face. And like, we're just talking and a lot of the things you're saying correlate with PCOS. He's like, did you know sleep apnea was a symptom of PCOS? I was like, no. He's like, you should go see your doctor. So I thought you were the doctor. So I went to go see my actual doctor, who was absolutely amazing. I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, y'all, and she never tells me no. I'm like, can I get this test? She's like, yes. Can I get this? Yes. Can you tell my insurance? Yes. Thank you. I was like, I need to see a sleep study immediately. I have anxiety. I feel like I'm going to die if I don't get a sleep study. I can't sleep at night. I'm jerking myself awake at night. I'm literally terrified to go to sleep. Sent me in for a sleep study. They sent me back home with a block here on my chest. Took it back the next day. I said, I didn't really sleep. She said, it's okay. We're going to have you come back to sleep in a room. Someone's going to watch you. My boyfriend already does that. So I was like, okay. When I finished, they were like, we're not sending you in for a sleep study. You have sleep apnea. And I was like, dang, that's bad. So they sent me home with a really expensive machine. And I wore it to bed. It's very uncomfortable the first few days. But y'all, I don't have anxiety anymore. I sound like a little bit of anxiety when there's people around because of the media, but I don't have anxiety. I don't have intrusive thoughts. I don't want to die. And it's because I sleep now. It's because I'm getting 6 to 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. I'm pretty sure there's more than 5 people in this room that probably don't even know that you're not getting uninterrupted sleep. I bet you. Raise your hand if you get a headache at least once a week. Raise your hand if when you wake up you're still tired. Ooh, who snores? Oh yeah, like y'all got sleep apnea. I ain't a doctor, but go talk to yours, okay? This literally saves my life. It's so scary, but if you are in here and you just raise your hand, please go see a sleep doctor. Get a sleep study done. Insurance will cover it, and if not, I know somebody who will, okay? I'm working with a company right now who absolutely helps you find the equipment that you need for sleep apnea under your insurance, even until you know. So I work with people who tell the insurance yes, because insurance is going to tell people with PCOS no. And I don't like no. Back to my boyfriend. So sleep apnea definitely saved me from having mental thoughts, always talking down on myself, and I give myself grace now because, again, I am the most important thing, and I have to take care of myself. If I am not taking care of myself and putting the work into myself and giving myself grace, I'm not going to make it. If I'm constantly comparing myself to another person or who I even used to be, I'm not going to make it. But what I can do is say I'm going to be better for tomorrow. I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to eat better. I won't eat Cheetos every day, maybe once a week. I won't sit at home and do nothing when I have time. I'll take a 30-minute walk because it's like cardio. And I'll start taking vitamins and supplements and all of these things. When you start to implement them little by little, when you turn around and look back, you'll realize it's such a big snowball effect. And you'll even start to realize, like, wow, I'm not dealing with, like, cystic acne or sleep issues or hirsutism. I still deal with hirsutism. A lot of coming. I'm on my way. Okay, so mental health for me is, early childhood trauma. Those who deal with early childhood trauma have a higher cortisol and sometimes just have prolonged cortisol that just really never goes down. When you deal with issues as a child growing into a teen and then an adult, you're always flight or fight. You're always demanding, always in control. And it's because of the things that we dealt with as children. Give yourself grace. It's okay. Understanding I need a little extra care. I can't do what most people who don't have PCOS or don't have chronic illnesses are doing. And that's okay. I'm still going to try. And that's what matters. And not comparing myself in all aspects of life again. At 16, I had a 4-pack, 6-pack. Today, I got it in the fridge, okay? It's close enough, y'all. So I'm not going to compare myself to how good I looked, how good I felt, because I look good today. I feel good today. I'm in a good place. I'm ecstatic to be here. I'm thankful y'all are here listening to me and laughing at my jokes. This is who I am today, under this hair. I am a proud business owner, like I said. I am happy. I am at the best, even at 206 pounds. I'm at the best that I've ever felt, been at. My mental health is amazing. I get quality sleep. I'm in an amazing relationship. I get sales every single day. It's a blessing. But none of this would have transpired if I gave up. If I didn't post that first little video on Instagram and say, hey, I have something called PCOS, guys. That's why I haven't been on. Look at my face. 200,000 people related. Didn't even know people knew about this. I didn't reach out and say I have PCOS to a community online that didn't know me, I don't think I would be where I'm at today. So for most people, they look at PCOS as a downfall, as something that's debilitating. Well, I look at it as, it's amazing. I started a business. I have a community of people. I have a website. I talk to people daily. People look to me for information, for guidance, and I'm thankful for that. Yeah, give yourself grace, y'all. All right, so that's the end of my mental health talk. Let's be friends. If you guys want to follow me, these are my follows. This is my website, sleepysis.com. This is my Instagram and my TikTok. TikTok is where I do all of my PCOS content. It's where I talk about how to live a better life, what you can take, what you can eat, things of that nature. I'm not a doctor. I do research. I'm a citizen science. I've worked with companies to do different types of tests, clinical trials, and everything that I learn, I give it to you guys for free because it shouldn't cost you to live a better life. Thank you.
All right, let's give it up for Cash one more time.